Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Laureli Shimayo. This is the MeWe Metaphysics and Wellness events for energizing body, mind, heart, and soul. We have events throughout the Northwest and online, and this is our online training panel. In this panel, we have practitioners that will be answering questions from the audience, and it's a training panel because they're practitioners that might be newer in the metaphysical space, new to the modality that they're sharing, new to sharing in public with a whole group, being recorded, all those kinds of things. And so there are a couple of us here that are supporting the practitioners that are in training in that sense, getting a chance to understand the modality of our panel and how to share in this way. It's a great opportunity being in the audience. You still get to learn from all of that's asked and answered, and it's half price to ask a question of the panel. They have three people on the panel tonight that will be answering questions. We're going to introduce them. They'll be introducing themselves and sharing about what they do. And then there is no theme today. Today, the theme is anything and everything, has all kinds of diverse modalities and can address all kinds of questions. And the two of us that are backing everything up, be supporting them and ensuring that you, right, it's just helping bring their wisdom out to you, their gifts and their wisdom to you, and just supporting so you feel great about the experience that you have here. Well, I think we'll get started probably doing our introductions, and then I'll share a bit more about the format for asking questions right before we transition there. And I'll put a little bit more info in the chat too. We've got lots of other online events coming up as well. Just for example, tomorrow we have a learning circle where there are three of us that are offering exercises for opening your intuition. If you're in the Seattle area, we have an in-person fair Saturday and Sunday. And then in a week and a half, we're going to have a panel symposium. We're going to have at least 4 panels, just about all running at one time in collaboration with an expo that's in Arizona and online. And someone from that event is here tonight too on the panel. So you'll get to hear more about that as well. All right, let's go through and start our introductions. So we'll start with Lisa and then Laughing Snake and then Stephanie. So go ahead, take 2-3 minutes and share about who you are and what you do.
Thank you, Lorelei. Hi, everyone. I'm Lisa Stewart of Sigil Magic Goddess. I call myself a creative mixed medium. Since I was very young, I've had each foot in different dimensions. As a creative manifester, I've learned to co-create with spirit to get what I need and what I want. And as an intuitive business coach, I help mystics like you co-create, to find the courage to co-create with your intuition to grow your confidence and your income. I can also teach you how to work with moon phases and the tarot to effectively grow your business. And part of being a business coach is also helping you with your brand messaging, design, marketing, and websites. Now, as a seer, I have the ability to see the bigger picture for people in their business and guide them on the right path for rapid growth. For instance, I met a woman who created lotions and saw that she was going to launch a big spa in New York City. She did. As a matter of fact, she opened 2. For others, I've seen books in their future to help them launch their careers. And of course, it's different for everyone. I've built several hundred products over the years and around the world. Lastly, on an unrelated note, I can call my spirit kitties back in from the cosmos. I have a spirit kitty Chardonnay who is my spirit animal and often visits in the mundane world, walking all over me in bed. If you have an animal that's moved from this world to the next and you'd like more information on what steps to take to rekindle your energetic relationship, I'm happy to share that with you. Thanks so much for attending tonight and can't wait to talk with you.
Thanks so much, Lisa. And Laughing Snake is next.
Hi, everybody. I'm Laughing Snake. A lot of my specialties come in the forest, but I was raised on a sailboat and also worked with abused horses. So I have a very tuned in sense with nature and animals that kind of gifts a part of my practice. And then I'm also a personal trainer and an artist. So I take a very creative approach with imagination and sensory experiences to help guide and teach. What I typically do is work with people to connect to nature and listen to the messages that the forest or the terrain is trying to speak to them, or what their own bodies is trying to say to them. And it kind of can flip where either you are already connected to nature, but not connected to yourself, or you're connected to yourself, but not nature. But both of those bridges we address in working together. I also take a great pride in bringing you what would be survival skills for traditional forest survival, but then implementing them to an emotional agility practice. We do inner self-talk and attitude shifting, which can be beneficial both in the city life and in the wilderness and in home life, as we all are looking for security, which is shelter, and comforts and food, water, fire are all the basics. They also relate to how we handle our nervous system over fear and association patterns that have kind of come in through your story. I really get intrigued by people's associations with elements. So have you had an experience with water that created some fear, and how we can rebuild that relationship with water? A lot of people have a drowning story somewhere in there, things like that. We kind of talk about as we're outside, and I'm noticing how you're interacting with the elements and with the plants. Another thing I really enjoy doing is kind of bringing in a tactile energy to expressing emotional landscape through words like, what colors are you feeling? What textures are you feeling? How do you relate to the bark? Is that an uncomfortable feeling for you, or is it a joy? And start to build through your story sort of this inner knowing to learn yourself better, and also appreciate nature, which bridges compassion for ourselves and nature and connectedness back to our oneness. I also really enjoy embodying animal totems and a playful spirit around shadow and shame work to bring that forward and become a power source for you to move through, kind of turning your manure into fertilizer, kind of quick mindset around that. And I let you guide me on where you might need to listen to yourself. And then I also help you bridge the translation of nature. And that's basically what I've been doing for the last few years with children, and I'm looking forward to making that more of a reality with adults as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Laughing Snake. And Stephanie.
Hello, everybody. Well, I'm very new to this, so bear with me. I am in a very strong transition period right now, and there's a lot going on, which I'll share a bit more later, but I'm an intuitive. My biggest strength is through mediumship. I'm a clairvoyant, and I have a lot of intuition around ancestral pain and the suffering that is just being carried forward through our DNA and through our ancestral connections. So a lot of the guidance that I give people is connected to just understanding your connection to your higher self, to your own self-healing skills and abilities, and really just giving you the power back, because we lose our power, we give our power away all the time. And so when we can bring it all back in, it allows us to fully step into what we can be. And so with that, I am really just all about helping people get unstuck. If you're stuck on something, because we all get stuck, I invite people to build their best version of themselves. And I am a reflection of that. Everything that I'm doing right now for myself, I am reflecting back to all of you to build your best self. Find your passion, find your voice, and get into the rhythm that is your truth. That is my passion. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. Great. And then the two of us that are supporting the experience tonight are the River Witch Fairy and myself. River Witch Fairy, would you like to share about yourself?
Yeah, good evening, everyone. My name is Rina-fay London. I am the River Witch Fairy. I am a fairy incarnate woman and shaman. Fairy incarnate means that I am a soul that comes straight directly from the fairy realm, which is like home to me. And I have come from that realm many, many lifetimes over. So I am very well accustomed to our lovely planet Earth, just in a different way than most people are. And I am a shaman who has worked for 18 years with those spirits of the fairies, elementals, and nature spirits. They go by many different names. And as a deeply sensitive person connected to these nature spirits, I help women, men, children, even couples truly understand how important it is to stay connected to their heart space in this very harsh, physical, demanding 3D world. I am also a best-selling co-author of the book called Soul Warrior: Accessing Realms Beyond the Veil, which is a lovely, amazing book that's a collection of stories of healers and practitioners all over the world and some of the biggest hurdles that we have been through, which to me is very important and congruent with the reason why I'm here tonight, because I believe it's very, very important to lift up and support healing practitioners, support the psychics, support the sensitives, because I believe that we have a very strong place in the world and that it's also our job to help other healers have that voice in this demanding world. So I have walked alongside fairies all of my life. I talk with them in all of my shamanic work and my psychic work. I am also a professional astrologer. Astrology is my second passion aside from working with the Fae. And I am very happy and blessed to be here with these practitioners. They all have just amazing, beautiful gifts. Lisa, what a gift it is to be able to help people in their business feel confident, especially with your intuition, feel confident that they have what it takes, and to have somebody to guide them through that in making a business with this work. Laughing Snake, it's so beautiful how connected you are to the divine feminine and the divine masculine. It's like inside of you, it's so balanced and beautiful. I wish I could say the same for myself. I'm so divine feminine and it's hard to connect with the masculine. And Stephanie, it's just amazing how heart-centered and sensitive you are, yet so confident about it, and being able to help people understand ancestral karma and ancestral trauma is an absolute #1 key to living our best life today. So what a gift that is. So thank you so much for allowing me to be here.
Thanks so much, the River Witch Fairy. And I'm Laureli Shimayo. In addition to running these MeWe events, I'm also an intuitive eye reader. I believe that we all read so much in each other's eyes all the time. If you think about when you've met someone with dark sunglasses and you can't see their eyes, there's so much missing. It's so frustrating sometimes. And as soon as you see their eyes, poof, you feel so much more comfortable. There's so much there. There's so much that we pick up so quickly. I use a set of archetypes to describe what I see in your eyes, your soul. I look at natural talents, what motivates you, how you communicate, how you make decisions, how you protect yourself, and then consciousness and growth lessons. There are growth lessons in all of these different traits. Your talents in particular are most directly connected to your purpose. So we look at your purpose, where you are in your growth lessons of your purpose, and how well are you accepting and integrating the different traits that I describe as you of your soul together in a cohesive expression, and how much are you letting yourself be in environments for work, in relationships where you can express who you are? How much do you allow that to come through you? So we look at who you are, help you like feel and more tangibly connect with the parts of you that are your beauty, your gift. Often we don't see those things. We imagine that what's so easy for us is the same for everyone, and then we miss the thing that is our purpose and just our spirit. So I help you make choices that help you express more and more of that in whatever context, relationships, work, etc. And if you are looking for relationships, I can help you find soulmates. I think of people with similar eyes, similar souls as soulmates. So all kinds of different things, practical things in business, and then more spiritual, psychological, personal growth things. And I also do body psychology coaching. So being aware of how our spirit's expressing through our body and the messages that we get through our body, and then also ways of utilizing our body, again, to further allow and express our spirit. And I'm here supporting the experience today. And just part of the challenge for us as supporters is that we have to like not say too much, And so that's a part of the big journey of being here today, and just whatever way we want to support like these three great practitioners with different kinds of experience, and all having lots of experience doing this and not necessarily owning it and doing it in this context, or in the process of shifting context, which more will emerge later tonight. All right. So I know we have one question in line already. I put the information in the chat. So if you'd like to ask a question tonight, it is half price. It's $10 to $14 sliding scale and $6 for BIPOC folks. To ask a question and get answers, maybe from all three, and we'll ensure that you get great answers tonight. Yeah, it's the best that we're able to do with that. And yeah, just trusting that all of what's emerging in the dance of all the energies of everything, right, is what's of service. So when you ask a question, it's recorded and going to be posted online. So you might want us to narrow our answer to a kind of particular channel. Feel free to let us know about that in the beginning when you ask your question, if that exists, and when we answer, if we go deeper than you want us to go, or we start talking about topics you don't want us sharing about here, interrupt us, please. Give us feedback, help us stay on track in a way that honors you. We're so here to be honor you and be of service. That's the most important thing. And then also, this is a great opportunity for all of us here to practice opening to our intuition and open to our clairs and our gifts and all sorts of other ways. I know this community has been a huge part of how I have opened. In that when someone asks a question, right, stuff might show up for any of us, right? All kinds of intuitive hits and insight. So you might want to have something to write with and take notes, because the messages are often fleeting. We do request that you allow the attention to stay up on the panel tonight, though. So please, if you can hold those, keep those to yourself. And then when we're done answering someone's question, if you want to, you can private chat them and ask them if they'd like to hear what came through you. Please honor whatever they share. It's possible they'll feel full, feel done when they get their answers, and they just may not want to know. And please trust that it came through you for some other reason. But we're all here to be able to learn from all the experience. Well, thanks for being here with us and supporting this space. All right, well, let's see. So I'm going to bring, let's see. So we have a smaller group tonight, so I might not bring everyone up on spotlight. We'll see what we'll do. It gets more full. And so we do have one question from Madeline. And I guess if you have already paid to ask a question, I'm going to open up my PayPal right now. And if you have, please let me know in chat so I make sure I get you in line. And if you do pay at some point, please let me know so I make sure. Okay, great. We've got at least 2 questions in line. Great. Great. All right. Well, let's start with the one that I know, paid ahead. So Madeline, you are up first. Feel free to unmute and turn on your video if you want to. And what is your question?
Hi.
Hi.
Nice to meet everybody. I'm kind of curious why I'm here. So I was on my phone and then my phone started like malfunctioning. And then I got a weird urge to go on Meetup. So I went on Meetup, and then this is the first thing that popped up. And I was like, okay, that's pretty subtle. Like, I'm going to attend this event tonight. So I guess I'm just curious if any of the panel here tonight knows why I was pointed in this direction.
Great. And open-ended questions are great. All right. So practitioners, when you feel ready, great. And Laughing Snake is ready. Go ahead, Laughing Snake.
Is it Madeline? Sorry, you jumped into a smaller box, Madeline. Okay, there you are. Madeline, I'm curious if I can ask you a question.
Yeah, for sure.
Is that a rock or stone on your throat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, what is? I'm like blanking on the name. It's the meteor one, Moldavite.
Okay, and what does that meaning have for you, the stone there?
I don't know. I don't even know how I came upon Moldavite, but supposedly it has like extraterrestrial like properties of it, or it's like a very powerful stone. And I feel like when I hold it, I feel like tingly sometimes. Like there was an instance when I had like a really intense tingling on the top of my head, and I was holding it and I was like, okay, that's really strange. So I've been wearing it recently.
How long would recent be for you? Is that like a couple weeks or?
So I got it like last year, and then I just started wearing it maybe like a week ago, but like on and off. I put it on today. I don't know why.
Okay. Well, you also ended up here and you don't know why.
Yeah.
The stone, I feel, is really representing something. I'm curious if you have a challenge or you're excellent at speaking with your voice, because where it's sitting is drawing my energy to like really focus on the stone. And I love that there's like an X pattern of the way it's being held by what looks like, is it yarn or is it like a twine?
Oh yeah, it was originally in like a setting and it fell out of its setting. So I just put it, I like took some rope and wrapped it around.
You did that yourself?
Yeah.
That's really beautiful. So that I'm just really drawn there. And I don't know if you have something in your journey today with your voice, but that stone is calling me to your throat is all I have to share with you. And the tingling is interesting too. I wanted to know more about the tingling on the top of your head, if that is warm or if it's sharp and pokey.
It wasn't either. It was just kind of like, I don't know, like weird to say, but it felt like a little something was crawling there, but it wasn't uncomfortable. It was kind of like a soothing, like, okay, like the universe is very in touch with me right now. I don't know.
Yeah, well, it's really cool to share with you that when I'm in the woods for 3 days, we have this thing called the 3-day effect when we get away from technology and we get into our primal brain, and we sense more of our inner knowing of our species to nature. And there's a 3-day effect that transition happens after you submerge enough to get distraction free. And it's usually a sensation that reads a lot on the head and the skull, and you'll get tingling. So if a cougar is nearby, you will know because the back of your neck will tingle in this way you described. So I'm very fascinated that you are aware that you have something sending you a message through the head, and you have put the stone on and you are here. So that's what I got for you.
Thank you. I just started like experiencing like pressure in my here. I don't know if that's significant at all. It's like, I don't know. I'm very new to this like world. So I'm just kind of like understanding and speaking out loud.
Yeah, I think you're doing it though, because I mean, you're speaking all the awareness. You're touching your third eye and you're touching your head, and you've got this beautifully crafted rock you did yourself. So I think there is a message here. I don't know what it is, but you will know. That's very cool. Thank you.
And
Thank you.
River Witch Fairy. So this is the kind of thing that we might do sometimes. So in Laughing Snake, this is totally up to you if you want to respond to this or not. It's fine either way. Do you, like in your style might be to leave it totally open? Did you want to maybe ask any other questions of Madeline that that these are the things that are arising? Like that you might have some other insight or like that might open her insight?
Yeah, I think I'm new to this space as well, Madeline. So I feel for you, like you're arriving here, I'm here. My shares are generally like listening more to your story. And I don't know if you know the stone has a story, or you have more story in your head. Or do you have a lot of moments where you're outside?
Recently I just moved. Oh, again, maybe that's another significant question. I just moved like 3-4 weeks ago now to Seattle. I knew from the moment I stepped off that I visited my friend last November. I'm from Chicago.
Okay.
So it was a pretty big move because I'm very close to my family, but I just felt this like really big urge to be in Seattle. I don't know why that came about either, but I followed, I don't even know if I can call it an impulse, but I followed that and I feel really good here. So I guess I'm just trying to figure out why I'm in Seattle too.
Huh. Do you like green?
I love green.
Love green. Okay.
Yeah.
And is the color you're wearing, is that like a beige? It's hard on the computer for me to see.
It's like, it's actually green too. I'm wearing
Is it
all
green? Okay.
Yeah.
It's translating. Huh.
I
What
don't
is-
typically wear all green, but I guess I'm literally in all green today.
Well, I love the color green, and maybe the River Witch Fairy will speak of. There's a green fairy that actually surrounds Mount St. Helens. It's very interesting. But I was going to ask you if I just keep hearing you say like you don't know why. And I'm not sure I understand, what don't you know why? Just why you are here, why you have dressed in green maybe, or
I guess
that's a fair.
I'm finding more and more like there's or my belief is that there's like a reason for everything. And I find like, I don't know, my story gets tangled up, and then, but I like later on, maybe in retrospect, I'll understand why I'm there. So I guess I'm just trying to, like, was I meant to like do something, or like, I feel like something significant is like coming, or I don't know. And I feel strange saying that, but I just feel like something significant. Wow. And I just feel like a sudden urge to cry now. A lot of emotions are coming through. I don't know what's going on. So when I cry, it's like extreme like joy or extreme like contentedness. It's not necessarily like a negative thing. So it just, I tell that to people because sometimes it makes them uncomfortable.
Well, I think it's beautiful. And thank you for sharing that.
Oh my gosh. Sorry.
Thank you so much, Laughing Snake, for following a little bit longer. I know we went a little long there, but yeah, so go ahead, practitioners, it's okay. So Lisa's next. If you feel ready, Madeline, that's all right.
Yeah, I'm totally fine here. Ignore my
Fine.
face.
Totally take your time. Okay.
Welcome to Seattle, Madeline.
Thank you.
I moved to Seattle on a hunch as well, 6 years ago. We decided we'd move to Seattle without even visiting Seattle. That's how compelling Seattle is. And I think it's especially compelling for empaths. And it sounds like you've got some gifts that are opening up to you. And this is the place to do it. This is such a warm and comforting landscape because we've got so many elements around us. We've got the mountains, we've got the ocean, and we've got the water. I just said that. And anyhow, we have all these elements that we're surrounded by, and it's a great place to be when your gifts open up. I've always had gifts, but they sort of kind of got closed down in the last 24 years or so, even though I knew they were there. I just wasn't in a very comfortable environment exploring that. And I want to ask, when did you move to Seattle?
So like my flight came in on January. Oh, no. So it's been a month. It's been a month
Okay.
now. I lose track
Okay.
of time. January 8th is, or no, I think like the 15th. My flight was on the 8th, but I didn't move into my place until the 15th.
Okay, fantastic. And when did you decide to move?
Honestly, like the moment I stepped out, like the exact moment that I stepped in between like the plane and like into the airport, I just had like, wow, you're gonna move here. And then like as I started exploring, and I guess I just knew. I called my friend, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna move here. It might be a little bit impulsive, but
So it sounds like you're a bit clairvoyant. Have you ever experienced these hunches and intuitions growing up before? Have you ever experienced hearing a voice and you told yourself you couldn't share that with anybody? Or it sounds like you've got a knowing. How many other times have you had that knowing?
I'm not sure. Like thinking back, I think I must have like ignored any like sign that that there was more, just because it wasn't like in front of me and I felt irrational. Yeah, I'm trying to think of an example. I can't really think of anything specific.
That's okay. That's okay.
I guess. Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay. I also sense that you're a dreamer. Do you dream?
Yes, I do.
Do you keep a notebook next to your bed?
No, I usually use like my notes, like oh wait, yeah, I have like Post-its everywhere. I just took them down. So yeah, I do.
Oh, that's great. That's great. I would recommend that you start that because I feel like spirit led you here so that you could explore more of who you are and taking recording your dreams right after you had them, right after that you come out of that lucidity. What I'd recommend, I use devices too, but I've got a hard journal with a pencil that I keep next to my bedside so I don't wake my brain up with light and devices and things like that. I would recommend that you do that so that you can start really recording how much you sense and how many times you've had an intuition that led you down the right path, right? When you felt that you should take a left, even though you wanted to take a right, you took that left anyway, because then later on you find out there was an accident there and it would have delayed you. Keep a journal of all of those tiny experiences so that you can start weaving a thread into your own development. Does that make sense?
Yes, that does.
Fantastic.
For doing that.
Good luck. Welcome, Madeline.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much, Lisa. And Madeline, we have 2 fairs coming up in the next few weeks in person in Seattle. So I just put them in the chat too. So this
Awesome.
weekend in Linwood, and then in 2.5 weeks, we're in Bellevue. Stephanie, it's totally optional. Did you want to jump up? I just need to have your video on to put you in spotlight. Oh, here she comes.
There. Well, what came up for me, Madeline, is that I think what you're experiencing is what is reflected back to me, because I do this to myself, is that I don't know, because it's not true. You do know. You just tell yourself you don't know, or you like to tell other people you don't know so that you can get out of really living in your truth and speaking your truth, because it can be scary to speak your truth. But the stronger your intuition, the stronger your knowing is, the more important it is to actually step into that truth and be okay with it and just don't deny it. It's your truth. So that was the only thing that came up. It's like, I hear that. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm like, I get it, because I was that. Absolutely. I even do it to this day sometimes. I'll say I don't know, just so that I don't have to answer, or so that I don't have to really step into that scary truth that I know that I need to step into. So I'll just give you that.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Yeah, and I guess before the River Witch Fairy and I jump in, is there anything else, Madeline, that you want to say, like reflection to anything that anyone's offered? Or
I guess to all of you, I just want to thank you for I don't know, listening and talking back to me. I really appreciate it. I really don't know why I'm still crying. And I just did it again. I do. It's released. I have a lot of stuff releasing now. That's why.
it's okay. I think of like crying as flow. It doesn't always mean sad, right? Just all kinds of just overflowing emotions, and it's okay. We appreciate that we're a safe space for you to feel. Yeah, River Witch Fairy, did you want to go first and say anything, like holding everything together, just a little bits for yourself? I know there's just so much.
I sure can. First, I want to just confirm what the general theme of all the practitioners are right on with her knowing.
We lost you and you got mute. Sorry. Unmute. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All the practitioners are so right on with Madeline already knowing her truth. Madeline, you already know your truth inside of you. All the practitioners confirmed on that, and that you moved to Seattle for a reason, because your spirit, your soul is strong and it knows where it needs to go. So that's where that truth is. And that flow of crying right now, I think that a lot of release is going to happen now that you're where you need to be. Okay, so the other thing that all three practitioners picked up on is that there's a lot going on for you. There's a lot going on for your soul. There's many different avenues for you to go toward. And right now, you're just drawn to Seattle because you desire to be closest to an area of nature that is going to just help you feel connected. Okay. So I wanted to support the practitioners on those things. And I wanted to tell you some things that I picked up on.
Can you pause for a moment? Because Laughing Snake has something else to share, and I want Laughing Snake to be able to share more. Is that cool?
Go for
This
it.
is where River Witch Fairy, we got to be so careful. This is like hard, I know. So you got to be really choiceful, like the littlest things. But like,
Well, thank you. I could have waited till she was done, but I just wanted to say to Madeline, if this is of any help to you, when I hear someone say they feel tangled, I really get excited that it's time to play with rope and maybe do some dance with rope where you tangle yourself and untie, because you learn through tactile like awareness and playing with it how to get yourself untangled energetically elsewhere. But maybe start, I mean, you've done it with the rock already. I see it already happening on you. And I'm thinking, go buy yourself a cool rope that excites you and wrap it on your arm and be like, so what? I'm tangled. It's, you know, play with tangled a little while. And I don't like to tell people, they already know what to do, but I would say no more need to apologize for crying, because it's beautiful and our culture doesn't see it enough. And so I'm actually grateful you cried, because it makes me feel able to witness the beauty of you. And I think it's really a lovely thing to share. So it normalizes sadness. So thank you for being okay with that tonight in front of us. So I just really appreciate that.
Thank you so much. It's really funny that you say that. I have like in my little cupboard there, like just yards and yards of rope, like literally just yards and yards of rope. So that's really funny.
and it looked like Lisa had something else too.
I wanted to support Laughing Snake on that. And for the first year and a half or so, I was in that hairball, and I invite you to be comfortable with that. I think Laughing Snake is trying to share, be comfortable in that. Be comfortable that there's going to be a few knots, and eventually they're going to unravel themselves, and it's just going to be like another brand new day. So enjoy the process. And also, I think you might be an empath, because I think you're probably feeling the energy of all of us, because those tears of flow, I feel those too. And I'm ecstatic and exhilarated for you, because you've got so much potential. So I can't wait to hear how you develop.
Thank you.
And just want to leave it open just in case practitioners, if there's anything else before we go back to River Witch Fairy. Okay, go ahead.
Cool. So can I share, Lorelei? Am
Just
I
share,
able to share with Madeline anything different?
you can, but just a little, like just to see how you can make them small. Yeah, small shares.
Small shares.
Yeah.
Small shares. Okay.
Well,
So
you bet.
Madeline, I just want to tell you, you're a very strong, confident individual. And you have a very big, specific path with that as far as the holistic world goes. And you're going to find that very, very soon in a little place in Seattle. But there comes a time when a soul is guided to step out of the comfort zone and step into the wild, even when it's hard and it's scary, and even when it's painful, because sometimes painful means saying goodbye to that comfort zone, that those parts of ourselves that we know. so well and that we've walked with for so long. And sometimes they even involve other people, other relationships that we've known for so long. So there can be a mourning process sometimes when it comes to just leaving it all behind and stepping into that wild wisdom. And we know that we're doing that because we're stepping away from our 3D physical self and we're choosing to step into our soul. And we're choosing to live life heart forward, heart and face forward, not heart and mind forward, but heart and face forward. So there can be a little bit of a mourning process, but it's all for your greater good. And sometimes the most beautiful thing about you is the willingness to just take it all in and allow your emotions to flow and to show. So that's what I'll share. Those are my small shares.
Yeah, we have a smaller training panel tonight, so we're sharing a little bit more than we do sometimes. Maybe just a little bit that I'll share. I think I align too with all the things that everyone on the panel is sharing. Energetically, to me, you are the most similar to the River Witch Fairy and to Laughing Snake. So I don't know if you feel some alignment with who they are and how they're sharing. But you seem so naturally connected to your intuition and your emotions, and you've demonstrated how you're following your intuition so well in so many ways. And yeah, it sounds like it's a like exciting and scary journey, and you're opening. So there's opening happening, and sometimes fear and feeling closed. And you're doing such a beautiful job. And yeah, even to discover that you created the necklace, that you chose to do that and not to let it go, and you created something new with it, and your gifts just keep showing up in so many places. So you clearly seem like you're on your path, and I appreciate how much you're listening and taking steps. Go ahead, River Witch Fairy. What else did you want to share?
Lorelei, I just have a question because this is the first time that I'm doing this as supporting. So I'm going to ask questions to clarify what I can and can't share. And I just wanted to define when you said small shares. Does small shares mean kind of try to go quick, or do small shares mean hold back any like bigger things that I'm getting?
It's great. So the idea, so this is where, right. So this is a learning experience, right, for all of us. So I aim to have more practitioners on the training panel. We happen to just have 3 tonight. And so I want it to be a fulfilling experience for the people asking a question. And I also I want to really have the 3 of them shine and the 3 of them get the experience. That's really what it's about. And so encouraging them and supporting them to share more, just like I asked Laughing Snake to share more. And I kind of want to poke Stephanie too, but Stephanie and I haven't totally worked out this relationship. I like poke Stephanie a little bit more, but yeah, maybe we'll go back and I'll poke Stephanie some, and or tickle Stephanie maybe is the best thing. And yeah, so the aim is for us not to share, even though you and I both we're so practiced. We're there's so much I want to say, but even on these panels, right, if we can only share 3 minutes, right, that's such a hard thing. Because usually folks, we usually only answer 2.5, 3 minutes each. So yeah, Madeline, you're getting some extra. So yeah, the River Witch Fairy, you've kind of already shared the thing you've shared, right? So if Madeline's called to, she could always schedule a session with you. But we really want to support Lisa and Laughing Snake and Stephanie to get their experience being here.
Okay. Yeah, I want to make the most out of how to support them as well. So bear with me, everyone. This is my first time doing this as a supporting person. So I'm learning the process, and I want to support the practitioners to diving into the information that they pick up on the most. So I just wanted to clarify what I should and shouldn't share.
Right. So if they're getting towards something and they're not saying it, we want to get them to say it. Susie and I.
Okay, so can we ask them questions?
Yeah, you can ask them. Yeah, this is hard to do as a practitioner.
We can ask them questions.
You all can say no, but
cool. No, cool. Can I ask the practitioner something just to see what comes up?
Yeah, go ahead.
So Stephanie, Laughing Snake, and Lisa, I'm curious with Madeline, are you ladies picking up on anything as far as certain modalities?
That Madeline might be expressing or might future express. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, Lisa.
Yeah, I feel, I said clairvoyance, but I think claircognizance, that knowing. And I also use the word voice in there. Spirit said, use the word voice and make her comfortable with not feeling weird about hearing voices. So the voice could be in your own internal dialogue, or you actually might hear a different tone. Like it's like I think I heard my late father speak in my right ear, and I'm like, whoa, okay. And so there are ways that you can know, and you can also feel. And that when you get the clairsentience, when you get body tingles and pains and aches and things like that, that can also help inform what you may or may not be picking up. So are you familiar with all of the clairs?
No.
Okay, great. We'll start there. So anyone else want to help me out? So you've got clairvoyance,
Yeah, I'm
the
laughing
easy
snake.
one, what you can see. And then you've got claircognizance, it's to know. And then you've got clairsentience, that's to feel. And then one of my favorites is clairgustance. It's rare, but it happens. It's where you can actually taste. I actually could taste my husband eating food in a different room. And then, okay, Laureli?
Laughing Snake has hand up.
Oh, I'm sorry, Laughing Snake. What did I miss? There's a few more I missed in the clairs.
You can keep going. Is the hand for next?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, answer however you want to answer. Laughing Snake. Are you done, Lisa? Or is it okay to say?
There's a couple more clairs that I'm missing.
I'm going to post them. I'm going to paste them in the chat. I have them up for the event tomorrow.
Thank you. Okay, go ahead, Laughing Snake.
Okay. I will need a little assistance in the modalities. I'm not familiar what that means.
So modalities, what I meant was, if are there any modalities that you're picking up on that Madeline would have a special talent for? For example, a modality would be a certain type of healing work or avenue. So you could call shamanism a modality. You could call, say, Reiki healing a modality. I'm not going to say too many because I'm curious if you're picking up on any special modality talents that Madeline.
In my language, Madeline, I see a path, and the path is towards working with fire for a while. And you strike me as a very disciplined person. Meaning that you probably stay in the lines of what you should do, perhaps, and maybe there's some forgiveness for you don't know why you're here. Maybe you were called to be here by something in you, or maybe you feel you should be here. I don't know. That's for you to know. But I feel like a warrior just in your posture. And this really beautiful way your fabric is laying over in a very clean line gives me sort of this energy that I want to just stir the pot a little bit and get away from being in the lines. And fire is a really nice way of discipline that you already have, but also playing in a new relationship that sort of is playful, rebellious, and can stir that passion. I think your passion is a bit dwindled of the flame, and I'd like to see you grow a big fire. So if you need a yard to make a bonfire, you can come on over. If you look like you may be in an apartment, probably get in trouble. Maybe you need to get in trouble. I don't know. But either way, get near your fire and grow the flame really big. Wherever you are told that is, if it's a park, I hear you. Call me I'll bail you out. But I'm telling you, I know people with land, and you just get a big bonfire raging, right? And like get dancing and move out of these lines. Don't even worry about how to dance. Just freak out dance, whatever. And I think that you're on this apex of like discipline and control, and then break through. And that's where the knot tying is a great tool. It's also not great if you don't know how to untie the knot you made. So, I mean, that's sort of a metaphor. You'll figure it out. I trust that you already understand what I'm saying. So fire, warrior. I also get a really strong raven energy with you. And that usually symbolizes magic. So I'm feeling a lot of raven and crow. So I don't know what that means to you, but I don't know if that enters modalities. That's the best language I have.
Very cool. It's all about exercising those intuitive muscles. Stephanie, anything you want to share? Optional. Other than that, and I'm done.
Trying to figure out how to raise my hand. Yes, yes, absolutely. You're speaking my language. I am completely in touch with all the modalities of holistic medicine. So with you, Madeline, I think that you would thrive with movement, some sort of movement practice that you teach other people.
She's hot.
That's what I feel. It's like your body wants to move. So where do you move? It's in yoga, Pilates. There's different exercise modalities that you can totally explore. But even dance, what Laughing Snake mentioned, dancing can be a modality. You can choose to teach dance or even move through dance with a healing modality of some sort. So it's just, yes, movement. That is what I feel.
River Witch Fairy is having lots of responses.
Yeah. The modality, Stephanie said the literal word, the modality that I picked up on was yoga. That was cool. I was really excited. Movement. Yeah. Awesome. Awesome job, everybody. That was amazing. So beautiful.
Great. And I know, Lisa, is there anything else you wanted to share? I know we moved on and I wasn't sure if there's anything else you wanted to finish up.
Just to tie those two together, make yourself a fire dance. I'm saying, have you ever twirled a baton or anything like that? Because I'm seeing fire on the end of a wand, just having fun with the fire dance. So, but yeah, and I was picking up energy earlier, and I feel like because you found yourself in a space, a very safe space, because we know how you're feeling, we've been there. I think that there's also the aspect of Reiki and energy that when you come to learn what that looks like, what that feels like, I think then you can blend that into all of the other elements. And I think that River Witch was touching on something, or maybe it was Laughing Snake, where they were talking about messing some things up. And I think with all the elements, they can be very controlled or they can be very frenetic. And whatever you're feeling, do the opposite, just to keep the balance and have fun with it.
Yeah, and Mel, if there's anything else you want to say, go ahead. And just
I mean, like literally everything that you guys said like resonates on some level, like everything. I did have one question that's popping up in my mind now. I was told, I spoke with somebody who told me that I could control the wind. I don't know. Okay. I didn't know what that meant. Is that like literally? Is that metaphorically? Like,
there's one of our practitioners here that in particular is going to be the one to answer that. But go ahead. You said you don't know if it means literally or.
Yeah, I didn't know what to do with that, but it really excited me. Like the elements really excite me. I'm sure they excite most people, but like I have candles burning right here. I have like a little altar right here for all the elements on my table. Like, so yeah, I'm just kind of curious what and the yoga thing specifically, I remember I had a really strong memory pop into my mind of like practicing yoga on my back porch in Chicago, and then like a white feather like flew in front of my face, and I was like, oh whoa, like that's kind of strange. Like I don't know. Oh, there I go again. It's like it's a habit.
And I encourage you to put, I'm just going to put past tense on that when it comes up. Say, oh, I used to not know.
I used to not know. I like that a lot.
Yeah, go ahead, laughing snake. You don't have to raise your, yeah, go ahead.
Madeline, I was actually really wondering how all this that we all shared sat with you. So I'm glad that since I'm new to these panels, it's nice to hear you reflect back and if anything stuck or not. The choice of the raven and the crow that's coming up for me strongly with you is it's helpful to know that you either desire to know more from the wind, or someone has told you you have. Tell me, you said someone told you you speak to the wind. Is that how you said it?
I can
They
control
said that I should explore like the wind more because I can control it. Like something light as a feather. Like that's what they told me. Like float on the wind like light as a feather. I don't know.
Well, the thing that I'm honing in on is like my brain doesn't want to accept the word control the wind. It's also hearing you then say float on the wind, which then you would be sort of a passenger of the wind. So that's where I think the knowingness is when you hone in on which word actually resonated with you, because it's not like it was someone else's share of you, which could be their interpretation of you. If you were to have a relationship with the wind right now and be confident, what is your relationship to the wind?
I guess being able to flow with the wind, as vague as
Okay,
that is,
flow.
being able to just like, yeah, movement's a big thing.
Yeah, and is your hair really long by chance? It might be up.
It's not. I got the urge to grow it out again though. 'Cause
Okay, it's your screen's dark. Do you have long hair? It is.
no,
Okay, there it is. All right. So because earlier you shared about this tingling from your head, I can't speak for you, but I can share that like communication for me is through the wind with my hair a lot. And I enjoy feeling the movement that the wind does to my hair, and then it translates the message through my scalp. That's one way I really enjoy the wind. Another way is in play, both in self-love practices. I take a lot of fringe. You said you had a lot of yarn. I take a lot of fringe and will let the wind, the air being the element, play with me. And it ends up giving me a lot of sensation, and also just like the wind in the air is connected to our heart chakra. So it's also an unconditional love. So it might be that this forgiveness and this unconditional love for yourself I'm hearing you say sorry for some things. It might be that the wind is trying to have a relationship with you to bring in more unconditional love. But again, I am a type of person that likes to wait and really hear more experiences from you, how you would relate to the wind. Some people like watching things in the wind. Some people like feeling the wind. Some people like their air flowing out of their lips. Wind has so many relationships with us. So I think it would be fun for you to go on a discovery then over the next few weeks and just notice, when are you noticing air? What is it telling you? How do you like it? Where is it uncomfortable? And just build more relationship with the wind to get to your knowing. And again, I think that the feathers you keep mentioning and the raven, I don't know, look at crows, watch crows for a while. That's what I got.
Just
Thank
Lisa,
you.
before you jump in, I want to say, I want to close up this question soon. I know we've taken a really long time. Laughing Snake, is there anything that you want to share just as Madeline is exploring, to just name some of the, like that modality word, like what are some of the ways that people practice that you're referring to? That Madeline might
This
want to.
modality word.
Yeah.
Some people practice with the wind, you mean?
Yeah.
That's a hard one for me to answer because I think it's such an individual relationship with the wind. So I might not be knowing how to answer that.
No, so what are some of the general categories of like the kinds of practitioners that pay attention to the wind? What is the name for them?
You mean the shaman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you catch that, Madeline?
Shaman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Lisa, and just if you could be brief. Yeah.
Absolutely. Just a couple of things, Madeline. Speaking of air, air is my favorite. And another couple of things to think about when you're considering air is music, sound. And also, this is coming out from nowhere, astral projection, which is different than lucid dreaming. And so when you talk about being light as a feather, astral projection can give you that because you're separating out from your meat suit and getting into the astral plane.
Explain what it is, since
I'm sorry?
you might want to describe just astral projection, what that is.
Oh, sure. So astral projection is the ability to separate, there are like 5 different layers of energy in your body, and you separate one of those layers and you're able to move through the astral realm and see all kinds of different dimensions and meet all kinds of different beings. And I'm working really hard at becoming good at it because I feel like this would be a really good way for me to speak to my spirit guide on a regular basis. And then also then raise consciousness and figure out higher purpose for me and others and things like that. So it's just another dimension to explore. So if you ever find yourself flying in your dreams, chances are you've been astral projecting.
Right, that's awesome.
All right. Thank you, Madeline, so much for following your intuition, to coming and choosing to ask a question and receiving from all of us. I put information in the chat too about the 3 practitioners. I'll add also River Witch Fairy in a moment. Everyone has specials. So if you wanted to do work with someone in private, they've got specials right now.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you everyone who's on this call also for your time. I really appreciate it. Feels like home in this little bubble.
I had the spontaneous move to the Northwest too. So, and I'm in Seattle now also. Yeah, it's great. All right. Thanks so much for getting us started, Madeline. We have another question in line. So Jamie is next, and we'll go a little more quickly through Jamie's answer. But all right, Jamie, bringing you up here.
Well,
All right, what is your question?
I always have like a ton of questions, but I'm trying to narrow it down.
Oh, and if you want, you can say several at first so that we can play with which ones we answer, how we mix that up together.
Well, I always feel that I also was drawn to move out to the Pacific Northwest. Originally, I wanted to, as a kid, I dreamed to be in a movie star. I wrote essays about it. I was drawn and wanted to go to California. I was in California in October and I felt like I was at home, like I belonged there. But I also love Oregon, and I've always sensed that I've had this big life. I desire this big life. I have all these dreams and things that I want to accomplish. I want to succeed so bad at. I'm trying to figure out things. I always have all these roadblocks and things that are in the way that set me back from succeeding. And I want to succeed. That's what I want. I want that big life, that dream of owning my own business, owning multiple houses, travel. I want to accomplish that dream. Is that going to be possible? Is there something am I going to ever succeed in doing that? Or am I going to be stuck in that ancestral hamster wheel that has been going on for many generations? Is that something that's connected to the reason why I'm not able to succeed? Because I've had family members that had businesses that were in politics, all that kind of stuff. So I just want to know where my life is going. I know it's going somewhere big, but I'm tired of trying to figure it out. I'm ready for it to happen right now.
Are these important to you?
I need it. I need it too.
Is it weird that I could see clear?
Yeah, thanks for giving us a good context of where you're asking.
Because it covers the broad amount of questions I have. And I have I have that desire. I feel it in here.
And where did you say you are now? Where in the world are you?
I am in Oregon. I came from Eugene.
Okay, great.
From Mississippi to here.
Great. Yeah, we'll be there April 23rd, 24th, by the way, in person. All right, Lisa.
These are these.
Hey, Jamie, how are you tonight?
Be clearer than I.
I'm all right. Curious.
Okay.
The word is curious.
Me too.
Curious. Okay, great. So I have a couple of questions before we get started. And that is, it's a really big question. What gives you joy?
Success. Success, because I've had so many setbacks and failures, and I'm sick of it.
So paint a picture for me. If you could do anything, what would it be?
Like I said, my dream is big. I used to love helping others until it started putting me in a place that hurt me, and I have so much trauma from doing that. I used to enjoy healing. I liked psychology. I feel like acting, comedy. I mean, I see myself doing stand-up comedy. I see myself having that big dream. Well, I feel wealth and abundance is in store for me. And I mean, I can even see myself being like the Long Island medium lady too. I had a chance to meet her, but I got so scared.
Okay, so you have a lot of interests.
Well,
If
I'm
you
a
could-
Gemini too. So, I mean, I'm a Gemini. I have ADHD.
Okay. So if you can imagine yourself in 2 years, that's not a very long span. Could you see yourself on stage ripping it up as a comedian?
Yeah, I mean, I'm good as also a motivational speaker too. People usually come to me and talk to me, and I motivate people a lot. I've got huge leadership skills. I've been told that. Creative problem solving, recruitment. I mean, I got so many skills. I feel like I'm sitting here wasting them away. You know,
Yeah.
I want to break away from that. I mean, because like my grandfather, he had 6 businesses and he only had a 6th grade education. I mean, like my family, there's success there, and I feel the capability of doing it, but I'm just wondering what's getting in my way.
Right. Well, it sounds like if you can imagine yourself 2 years from now. So let's just play with the idea of being a stand-up comic, for instance, right? Yeah. If you could imagine yourself standing on stage, ripping it up and getting the applause, there are some steps that you have to take to make that happen. And so immediately I see, maybe a place like Toastmasters to learn how to give speeches and presentations and getting comfortable in front of people. I created an alter ego who is a comedian quite by accident. And my guidance to you is feel into what feels right for you. Choose one and feel into it and play with it for a little while, because what happens to a lot of individuals is that they get overwhelmed with so many ideas that they don't even start. And I don't want that for you.
Well, I am feeling like there's a purpose here in town for me, because I have been going through with my lawsuit with a landlord and stuff. And we started this Facebook group called Eugene Tenant Alliance. And I feel alive when I'm helped, because it's a purpose to help people is what I want. It kind of showcases some of my abilities. I'm pretty good at business also. And that is something that also brings me joy and happiness, because I saw myself, owning a bunch of housing developments and stuff, and I'm getting hooked up with connected with people to kind of make that happen. But I feel like there's this one guy that helped create the Facebook group that's going to help me thrust into that success, because I feel like he's my obstacle. that is, because I need this stability. I absolutely need the stability. I have 3 high needs kids. I just found out my 11-year-old that keeps walking back and forth behind me. She has autism, but she also has gifted. I have all my kids are gifted too.
I can
And
see dead people.
she says she can see dead people. And we need this success. I'm getting tired of being evicted. I'm getting tired of being a victim, being victimized. And I need this to happen because I need to be able to support my family. And I'm sick and tired of having a man also tied to those barriers for me to get it. I had a reading the other night.
Jamie, I want to get to more answers for you. Is that all right?
Sorry.
It's okay.
But
Jamie, I drew a card for you, and I wanted to share the card with you and then allow other practitioners to chime in. And the card I drew from you is from Colette Baron Reed's The Enchanted Map Oracle. And the card I drew for you is called Cleaning House. And let me share with you what cleaning house means.
ironic because I need to clean my house. I mean, I got so much.
So the cleaning house message is it's time to clear the clutter to make way for better things. And so what it continues to say is when you see the cleaning house card in a reading, it's time to declutter your life. Get rid of unwanted things in your physical home and release what you no longer want or truly need. Is there any unfinished business that you should address? Thoughts, memories, and emotional baggage must be swept out of your house as well. Your conscience must be clear for you to move freely in the world. So celebrate a spring cleaning and feel the freedom as you make way for much better things. Look at what you've resisted discarding and be honest about its value. Be honest and clean house.
I'm
I hope
laughing.
that helps you.
It's ironic. I felt like that was a message. I can hear like my grandma and them laughing and stuff like that because I've been hearing them say, you need to get up and clean and stuff. But there's days I'm going through so much I don't feel like it. I'm always constantly busy and I'm always constantly doing stuff and putting out all these fires. And I'm tired and I'm exhausted. And I know I need to do these things because the house being a mess is the reason why the landlord wants to kick us out. And they're using it as a way to avoid doing the repairs on the house for habitability. And I know I feel like there's money tied to that. And I can feel there's money going to be coming in. But I can't keep a job. I don't know where my direction is going. And I'm so stressed out.
Yeah, and Jamie, I want to encourage you to like notice your body right now and notice some sensations in your body right now. Where in your body does it feel calmer?
I heard head in a way. I've been getting so much clarity because
You're sitting on a chair. Can you feel like sitting on a chair and like, does the chair have a back?
Mm-hmm.
Can you feel your feet on the floor? Yeah. So there are things here supporting you, right? Holding you up in a way that's you're free and you have space and you're supported at the same time.
But I'm always supporting everybody. The question always pops, what about me? Who's going to take care of me?
Yeah, and your daughter, totally empathic. Yeah, so the universe gave you the gift of your daughter.
But she sure gives me a run for my money every day, though.
Yeah. So Lisa, is it okay if we transition over to Laughing Snake? Okay, yeah, go ahead, Laughing Snake.
Jamie,
It's okay.
can I play a visualization question game with you for a second? I heard you say roadblocks, and I see you're overwhelmed. Can you tell me what size vehicle you need to blast through those roadblocks?
A tank.
All right.
I feel military parts in me. I mean, like I can sense different parts of my life. I mean, a lot of those clairs you brought up earlier, I could smell cigarette smoke and there's nobody here. I can hear things, see things. I get
Aw.
dreams. Since the dead, when Stephanie, I think, was introducing herself, I saw orbs going off behind her.
I noticed that too.
I mean, I have so many gifts and stuff, but I'm also empathic, and sometimes it's hard to clear out whose junk is what.
Okay, I got more to this story. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
And I hear all that coming through you. What does the roadblock look like? And be as imagination is welcomed. It can be weird, abstract. What is in the road?
A huge brick wall.
Oh, it's bricks. Okay.
It's a huge brick stone wall there. I feel like I've been running into that stone wall over and over and over, trying to break it down because I can see what I need is on that other side.
Yeah.
And I want to know what the fuck is getting me to stop me from doing that. It's somebody. I know it's somebody. It's somebody. It's something living or not living. It seems like a combination. I've been told so many things. I have spiritual PTSD. I have emotional post-traumatic stress.
I gotta go feed Bean real quick.
Okay, so you're in a tank. Remember, you're in a tank. Is the tank still not feeling like the right choice for this brick wall?
I'm out of ammo.
You're out of okay, that's helpful. You're in a tank, out of ammo. Do you
Out
still
of
have your
out of fuel because I'm exhausted. And I have this tank that can do something to this wall. But I'm sitting here trying to figure out what to do and how can I get this tank to move through that wall to get to that other side to where I need to be living. That success that is sitting here waiting on the other side for me to achieve.
Mhm.
Because at the time I need this. Because if it doesn't happen soon, I'm done.
Well, let's stay in the tank for a second. Are you in the tank with your sense of humor a bit, or have you lost your sense of humor?
Oh, I crack jokes still.
You still got your sense of humor?
I mean, I thought about doing the comedic thing, just, a way to blow off steam. But
Okay.
to do what I want to do, helping people, because I feel like that's my purpose. And any
Yeah.
format I do it, I'm going to be helping somebody.
Your humor right now is keeping you in I guess a tank, but maybe you need something bigger than a tank. But your humor is there. I wanted to share with you a really cool thing I heard today that I think was meant to go to you. And I hear that you have many things, and I actually feel like I'm sensing you are meant to blend those things. And it sounds like you want to heal people, and you're a comedian now. An interesting thing I heard today takes those two like this, and it goes like this. It takes about 300 repetitions to build a new habit, right? So like it's kind of scary to start something new. It only takes about 300 times. It takes about 5,000 repetitions to break an old habit. So that would be those messes and things. But it only takes 10 to 20 repetitions to learn something new if it's playful or humorous. Your gift can help people through humor. Instead of maybe stand-up comedy, find a way to take your healer and your humor and go a new route instead of trying to break some old routes. Turn the tank sideways and drive off the road, and don't even look at roadblocks. Just take the tank off the road.
Drive everything
in style, right?
I love
and
that.
I think you have style, and I'm actually like visualizing you on a Monopoly board with all these properties, but like there's humor, and it needs to be with humor. I see you like lifeline through humor.
Yeah, that is my lifeline, because if I couldn't laugh or have comedy, because I grew up watching Mad TV and In Living Color and
Jamie, I'm laughing snake by trauma through all the court shit, excuse me, all that. Laughing snake was to remind me to stay laughing and be a healer. And I see you really loudly here. This is your medicine. There's few that incorporate humor in, and you already I'm seeing you insert it. What's that?
Look at Jim Carrey. He
you
fights
playing
with
with the
depression
toy?
and stuff. He went through a lot of trauma, but he's the
Yeah.
fittest man alive.
Yeah.
One of the, same with Robin Williams. I mean, they're all inspirational.
Exactly. Lemony Snicket's unfortunate events, I think, is really powerful totem for you right now, because you got some unfortunates all around. You just take on different characters. I think you got this.
I'm gonna jump in and just give support to you, Laughing Snake, and
Oh.
also Lisa for Jamie before we let Stephanie, because I know Stephanie will want to go too. But I just wanted to jump in and support, because this could be this is a very multifaceted question, and I want to commend you, Laughing Snake, and Lisa. First of all, the analogy that you brought forth, Laughing Snake, about asking questions. All right, what kind of tank are you in? What does the wall look like? What is it made out of? All right, well, what's going on with the tank? How come it can't get through this wall? That was gold, and it brought forth some direct information that directly related to what Lisa drew for a card. So here's where I want to connect that for you both so that you understand how amazing that was. You, Laughing Snake, said, you asked Jamie, why can't the tank go through the wall? And Jamie, you said that tank's out of gas, it's out of ammo. It sounds like the tank's out of everything, so it can't push forward through the wall. Laughing Snake, you tried to help Jamie understand, well, how can we get this tank to go again, right? It's out of everything, so there's got to be another problem. Lisa, you drew a card for Jamie that was about cleaning house.
And I found that super funny too, because it's ironic. You know,
Our house is.
Our house is a cluttered mess, and that's what I grew up in.
It's not as
So
bad.
Jamie, about this tank, what I was getting when Laughing Snake was walking you through that, and then you described how the tank's out of everything, so we can't figure out how to move the tank. I saw what the tank needed was to be decluttered. The tank couldn't move because it's carrying too much weight. Even though the tank is a brute and the tank is really strong, the tank is carrying too much weight. So what it's time to decide is, what is the tank carrying that isn't really worth carrying anymore because it's not serving you? Maybe it might be serving somebody else. Maybe it might be something that seems like it's worth your while, but it's not really working out. And so all of these little things around the tank are weighing the tank down so the tank can't go anywhere. So sometimes this involves the hard work. And for me, myself personally, sometimes when I think about the hard work, that's looking at all of the things on the roster that are really shiny to me and that I want to make work and that I think is going to be really good for me, but they actually aren't serving me or doing anything for me. So I need to get rid of them. And I have this, like, maybe there's an internal fear somewhere in there that if I get rid of those things, or I cut that relationship off, or I cut off what I'm doing for that person, that I have this fear that I'm cutting off an opportunity for myself. But that's not the reality. It's actually something that's just taking up space in my life and in my mind that I could be using to benefit myself and my family better.
There's a hard, honest answer to that, I feel, but I'm not sure if it's the correct one.
It's just something for you to think about. So that was how I connected when Laughing Snake said that with the tank, and then Lisa drew that card. That's what I saw, is the tank's carrying too much weight of things that they're not actually serving you. So where can we eliminate those things? Okay. And then I want to let Stephanie go. So
And Jamie, where you were starting to go is that you may know your answers to some of that.
but I can't
Yeah.
get rid of these three little people
Well,
because
it just, well, it might not be that one, but I just play with this concept and this idea and see what comes through. So yeah, we're gonna go to Stephanie, and then so some of this you'll take away with you and play with after we're done as well. Stephanie, if you want to share.
Yeah, definitely. So Jamie, what I wrote down as you were talking is your roadblocks are your learning opportunities. What do you need to learn from those things? What is screaming at you, trying to get you to learn? It's usually something so obvious that you're just not willing to look at. So
fear.
journaling is a key for that. Ask that question and let your intuition answer. The other thing that I know, sorry, let me just get it all out. And it's grounding. So what I felt is that a lot of the feeling of overwhelm and the feeling of like not being able to handle everything is because you're missing some of your self-care, like good nutrition, enough water, enough sleep. But you can bypass those things through a few practices, such as going outside and walking in the grass, sit down in the grass, sit next to a tree, be with the earth just for like 2 minutes and just feel your body grounded in the earth. That can actually help you face all the other stuff. And the other one is just figure out how to make your boundaries. If things aren't working, where things aren't working, figure out the words to say to make those boundaries and make them stick so that you can honor your own spaces, your own boundaries, and be in this beauty that you want to create in the world.
Yep. And that's where I'm having a hard time because my kids I don't have any space, no boundaries. That is, I feel like the heaviest area that if their behavior and their actions dictate if I'm making money tomorrow, or if I want to have a husband, I want to be in a relationship, but people are not going to stick around to deal with that. I've been left and disappointed and hurt from that. And I love my children, but they're a heavy burden to carry sometimes. And it's exhausting. And it hurts to say that.
I think what I really, really want to share is that there's got to be space somewhere in your day to give yourself a little bit of peace. Even just a minute, just half a minute, where you can just be in your own body and be aware of your own space and your own intuition and allow that to be your strength so that you can step into everything else.
You know why I don't clean very often and I like just not do stuff is because it's like it was described as like something like retaliation, something that sometimes I'll stay awake all night so I can binge watch my own shows because I have that's my only quiet time. And when I can get them to go to school, I can have some peace, but I don't want to do anything because that's my only quiet time. And I'm on meetings all the time, dealing with school stuff. I'm dealing with a wide variety of things. So it's in a way I'm retaliating by not cleaning. So I can breathe. So I can do things. I have so many things a laundry list to do. And I so want a partner that's gonna balance me. That's my balance, that's my rock that can allow me to breathe. That's what I want. That's the other thing I need.
I'm gonna jump in for a minute if it's you shared earlier that you started an organization for supporting tenants.
We've already got 224 members since the 24th or since the 20th of February.
And someone in here mentioned something of this already, that my guess is that when you are doing a version of fighting for the underdog, when something is not fair, and you are fighting for and defending that people are treated fairly.
Boy,
My guess is that that's a version of when all these things are thrown off the tank and your tank has energy. And so the answer to Stephanie's question really is, while sitting on the ground might help with this, when you're in that space of doing that work, that's when you're having that experience.
yeah, I mean, because I remember, because I grew up in the country, going outside and walking through the woods and all that stuff, and swimming in the river and the ocean. I was peaceful. I mean, the other lady that was before me was talking about moving with the wind, but I specifically remember every time I blew a breath and the wind, everything is still, but as soon as I went like this, I can remember the branches just start to move. I feel connected to nature quite a bit. And I feel regenerized just when I go out to nature, just finding the time to do that. And the only way I could find time to do it is not working, but it doesn't generate the income I need to survive. And I'm stuck at that process.
So yeah, I'm Laughing Snakes can jump in and share something else, Stephanie, if there was more. And I just want to say, so part of your secret to all that may be the nonprofit type work that you're starting to do.
And I feel pulled towards that.
Yeah, so go ahead, Stephanie or Laughing Snake, who wants to go?
Either way. Good. Jamie, do you like frogs?
I'll look at them, and
Okay.
I'll eat them when they're deep fried.
Okay. Okay. So I'm not a big fan either. I just wanted to share that frogs are the sign for decluttering and purification, which kind of go hand in hand. Sounds like you're going to be doing some decluttering here soon. Also, interesting fact that sounds like you like to watch a program at night. Is that the program time?
Yeah, it's during program time. I'll do that, or when
Okay.
they're home.
It might be a good time of year to go outside at night to hear the frogs. And I think that could be a space for you to also have silence. I know that the shows are probably pretty juicy as well. It might be a good time to take a little evening walk if you get that time. I don't know if you can leave no one else to watch the children, maybe not. I don't know. Okay, maybe stick your head out a window, see what you can hear. I would listen for a while. You're in your tank, it's sitting there. The clutter is, every brick is like all that stuff, right? But you can sit in your tank and you can listen still, and you still have your humor. And your tank oddly might be green, I don't know, but I think there's some listening coming. And you're here listening, but keep going with that, listening to the nighttime energy. That's all. That's what I got for you.
One of my meditation apps has all of that, has cats purring, the nighttime stuff, and I play that at night.
Tap into some frog music, all right?
Mhm.
And all your memories that you shared here about being in your body and the experience of nature when you're younger and remembering that.
Astral plane is another, I can astral travel is too. I've been told, even though I used to think it was funny to do that. I used to love scaring the crap out of people when I was a kid and leaving myself and going and mess with the lights and whisper in somebody's ear and things like that. I thought that was fun as hell to do. It brought me joy.
Great.
But I just I'm going, just all the trauma I've been through is what's kind of slowing me down. I'm learning
And just
and I'm finding peace through all that. And what I'm doing now, I see like the nonprofit thing, and I see it is so close. It's right in front of me. It's so close, but there's a man standing in the way of that.
Well, I just want to focus on that you're so close, and that all the different positive things that have come up that'll help you ground and stay more present and be in that place of hopefulness and purpose.
I feel like an overcoming. I that knowing, I have that knowing. I've learned the 4 years I've lived here to listen to the knowing and do not ignore it and do not second guess that, because I know that I can achieve it. I'll overcome it. I just got to find the way, the right way.
Yeah, and River Witch Fairy, is there anything else you wanted to say just in completing? I wanted to give you that chance of, you jumped in earlier, so we may be all set.
Yeah, I guess just what I'd have to say to complete was touching on something that Jamie just said, where Jamie, you just talked about something in your childhood and you literally stated that brought me joy. And I think it was it Lisa who at the beginning said you need to find your joy, go back to your joy. What is your joy?
Wow.
All of us have been, especially myself, been through just trials and trials and trials over and over again of trauma, especially from childhood. And one thing that I have learned is that if you can go back, trace yourself back as far as you can to that joy in your childhood before the trauma, and find a way to bring that joy back or go back to it sometime now in the here and now, that is a huge key in shifting everything around you. So yeah, again, bringing it full circle. I think it was, and Lisa was the first practitioner that went. It was one of the first things that was said. You need to go back to your joy, Jamie. And then you said it, so your soul knows it too. Go back to some of those things from your childhood joy. Bring them back into the here and now. How can you get your body and your mind and spirit to go back into those modes and practice that joy again?
Bring them
Yeah.
forward.
Soul retrieval and some of the, I'm dealing with trauma from past lives that
That is
need to be done.
Yeah, so part of it is, that's why, so part of it is going past this life and pulling back the things that, the history that supports you.
Oh yeah, I mean, I could see some of the things that have happened. I've been alive multiple times through many eras, way back.
Yeah. So we're going to be transitioning to see if there's another question. And we had a panel just, is that Monday night, on shamanism and soul retrieval.
And that's what I need. I also intuitively feel that I need a lot of emotional healing before I can jump into a relationship with somebody and things like that, because I need to heal the relationship with my children and myself.
So yeah, so some of the different tools and some of the other things may support you too. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming tonight and letting us share with you.
Yeah, thank you, Jamie. Thank you for sharing such vulnerability. Thank you so much.
And your passion and your capacity to make change and make the world better.
Is that going to happen? That's what I want. Is it going to happen real soon like I want or hope?
Yeah, I think the organization that you're doing, that's really important.
It's gaining momentum like wildfire.
Yep. So thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
All right. So we have space for one more question. If anyone has already paid to ask a question, please let me know. And if someone else wants to go, we've got time for one more. Yeah, we'll see what's here. Take a question on anything. I didn't say this in the beginning, that ideally it's a personal question is the best thing, and that we've had great examples of that. Yeah. And if we don't have someone jumping in just right now or soon with a question too, we can also ask each other questions. Yeah, just an opening for that. If you're thinking about asking a question, feel free. If you want, you can jump in now and you can pay afterwards too, just so we get things moving for the panel. We're open. We have a smaller group tonight, so if there isn't, that's okay. Just if you want to get started.
Like to ask a question, if you could.
Okay, yeah, sure. Let me bring you up here, Ashley. All right, great. Go ahead.
So I have been doing, I've jumped into this life about 2020 when everything came crashing down. And I started with the crystals and bracelets, had somebody make them for me. I'm like, you know what, I can do it myself. So I started making them, and then I started selling them. And then I went into candles. I've got so much stuff I do. Eclectic is what I called it. Actually, it's eclectic shop. And I love the venues. I love going to them. And I have not really sold anything or made back how much I'm spending on tables since October.
Mm.
And I've probably had, I think, about 6 shows since then. And it's like, I love doing this. I love giving the energy. I love talking to people. And I love being away from my house because I've got 6 kids in my house and it's just chaotic all the time. And I love just being out in that environment and being around adults. But is that where I'm supposed to continue? Because I've also had people tell me, you've got healing. Why aren't you using it? Like, I don't want to yet. And I don't know how. Am I supposed to pursue that? Am I supposed to do it in something else? Where do I go? That's all.
Yeah, I appreciate you jumping in and asking. It's great. I know I recognize your name from seeing on social media with all that you're doing. It's great. Just waiting to see what comes in for the practitioners. Yeah, whoever's ready. Go ahead, Laughing Snake.
Hi, Ashley. I think you're muted.
I am. I'm in the middle of putting away groceries. My kids are helping, so.
Okay. I just wanted to get some clarification. I'm hearing you say you don't want to do the healing, but then I heard you in the beginning say you wanted to make, and I don't know if I caught what you're making. Is that
Making crystals, bracelets, candles.
okay?
Eclectic.
You want
Bath salts, I do mess-free herbal baths, and I do, and now I have milk baths available too.
okay? And do you want to do that?
I do. I enjoy doing it. And I enjoy people. I love making bracelets. I bring all my beads to the shows that I go to and I make them on the spot. And I get to put, say, what is your favorite, what color are you feeling? What, what energies are you wanting? What is, what are you avoiding? What don't you want? And I get to talk to them and put all that intention in there. And then I get to, I've got 3 mantras that I use and I sing to the bracelets and they get energy and it's so rewarding. And then I write out 2 pages usually about the crystals that I used, about the songs that I sang, and they get all of that. And that's my favorite part. I love that hands-on thing. And with the healing, I'm sort of feeling like it might take away from that. And I don't know when to stop all the time. And I will give. And I'm a mom. I just go, you know.
I want to clarify, do part of what you said earlier is that you're not earning back what you're spending on things right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that part. I guess where I'm confused to help answer questions, when you say you don't want to do healing, but it sounds like what you're doing is very healing for you and the person.
It is, but what I've been told is that I have a healing that is more of a hands-on, and whether that be Reiki, whether that be yoga, whether that be laying hands on people and taking stuff from them or giving stuff. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with the healing or what is being said, but I don't know. I don't know what my hands are supposed to do with a person's body.
Okay, well, you seemed really confident that you did know when you were talking. I saw all the joy in your face about the color, kind of complimenting the person with you realizing what was speaking through the beads.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a really powerful energy in you, because I was moved by it just watching you describe what you do for people. So all I can think is like, maybe your way is your way, and that's the way, and that is a healing way. So I applaud you. And maybe, I don't know if what I'm hearing is, it's not making money that way, but you want to go that way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, thank you. I'm going to think about that a little more.
Thank you.
Lisa, go.
All right, Lisa's got something, and yeah, we can always cycle back.
Hey, Ashley, how are you?
Hanging in there.
So you're a person after my own heart. I'm a creative as well, and I've developed several product lines, and I understand the frustration when things don't sell. I get it. Been there. I drew a card for you, and then I drew a couple of clarifying tarot cards as well. But before I share any of that, as a person who's developed products and who has sold them, what I want to gently remind you is to make sure that you understand your unit cost versus your wholesale cost versus your retail cost. Because if you're not making up your unit cost, and you're going to have to increase your price. And as just a general statement for everybody listening today, that is, joy is a service. It's credible as a fundamental part of providing a product or a service to your customers. And a lot of people, creatives, spiritualists included, tend to downplay that. Oh, I just want to make people happy. But you know what? You earn the right to earn a living. Okay, that you deserve. Having said that, I drew an oracle card, and it's called the Mountain. And it didn't make sense to me until I listened to you a little bit further. And the Mountain just basically says you have the capacity to flow around any obstacle. This is the time to adapt. I had to draw some clarifying cards, and so I drew 3 cards. The first one is, the first scene is that this is the 10 of Cups. So this is where you are right now. And the 10 of Cups basically means that you've achieved this emotional fulfillment from what you're doing right now. The second card is Death. I love this card because it's about transformation, right?
Also
So
my card.
this thing happened. Transformation has happened. And then finally, the Ace of Buttons. It's a new opportunity for you. This is a time for you to reconsider what healing means to you, and maybe take a Udemy course or something and really learn what healing means, because healing can be a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm. And what kind of course did you say?
There's online education called Udemy, Udemy. There are lots of courses on there that are very cheap for you to just get a taste of what that might feel like, what energy healing might feel like. And the modality is so vast that you can play in that. But I think there's a big transformation coming to you that you might want to let your guard down and say, let's play with this a little bit. Does that resonate?
Yeah, I don't let my guard down easy. I'm 100% sun sign Scorpio.
Yeah. And the Mountain, sometimes I get that card too. And it's really about, instead of pushing through it or going over it, just go around it. Just go around it and figure out, you know what? It's just a little bit easier to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're what? You bet.
Thanks, Lisa. All right, Stephanie.
Hey, Ashley.
Hi.
So I got, check out different channels. Where can you sell your products? Can you sell them on Etsy? Can you sell them on Facebook? Can you sell them on eBay? Find other places where people want what you're creating, because there are definitely avenues out there. Do you have a website? Do you have a place?
I have a website.
Where
I do have
people
it on
can
Facebook.
find you?
I'm not consistent.
Consistency
I'm very
counts, but you can
inconsistent.
hire someone to be consistent for you. It's
And I
pretty
don't-
inexpensive.
I have it right now where I have a bunch, all my friends and family. I've got a business page, but I don't use it. And I don't want to flood my feed with, look what I'm doing, look what I'm doing, bye, bye, bye. You know, I want to be able to share my kids too. And and I don't have the ability to switch back and forth and back and forth and back and forth all the time. So it makes it more difficult.
Yeah, I get that. Well, consistency can just be once a day. It doesn't have to be all the time, like 20 times a day. You could just post once a day.
Mhm.
find what brings you joy and share it, because it doesn't have to be buy this, like I'm selling this thing. It could just be, I made this beautiful gift for someone and the reaction that I got from them was just amazing. Share about what you do, because what you're doing is healing.
Yeah, it's also really hard too, because I'd say probably about 90% of my people on my pages are Christian pastors and Christian churchgoers and very Republican, and anything that I mentioned about crystals are like, nope, I don't care, scroll. I don't want to hear it. And they're very, they have their walls up and they're not like, yeah, no. It's like, you do realize that crystals are in the Bible. Crystals, oils are in the Bible, and this is in the Bible, and this is in the Bible. But no, it's fine because it's not. It's because of Jesus. It's not because of, like, I grew up with that for how many years, but I see different ways. And, so I'll get, like, my niece messaged me, because I sent her some of my mom's books that were Christian books. Like, I just felt you needed these. And she's like, why are you sending me this? You're posting Buddhist stuff. And why is this? And why is that? I'm like, do you not love Jesus anymore? Like, I never said that. I still love Jesus, but I found more paths and I found more openness, and you needed these books. I have books on my shelf still, but I felt that grandma would have wanted you to have them. So have them and enjoy them. And she was like, okay, but don't go too far off in that la la land. I'm like, so it's the
all one
judgment.
spirit.
It's the judgment of my family that's like, okay, if I post this, is it too much? And I hold back because of them a lot of the times. So
It might be time to release some of the people that aren't supporting you. Because, if you are to step fully into what you're meant to do and you have people around you that aren't really serving that, it's okay to let them go. Even if they're family, it's okay to let them go.
Yeah.
And Facebook, letting somebody go on Facebook is not a big deal. It doesn't mean you don't have to call them on Sunday, right?
Right.
So the other thing is, when you post something on your business page, if you post it there as opposed to your personal page, the people that aren't following you on your business page don't even see it. They don't care.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to be honest and real and true on your business page, because that's where you're meant to shine. That's the way I use Facebook personally. I use the business page, and then when I post on Instagram, it posts to my business page, because a lot of what I post on Instagram is related to what I do. So yeah, I think that's it. Recognize the channels, give yourself an opportunity to expand what you do in other places.
Thank you.
And Laughing Snake has something else to share.
Ashley, how many children do you have?
I have 7 and 6 are at home.
Okay.
And then
So
I take 2 nieces. I have 2 nieces that I take too.
Yeah. Just an idea came through. I totally agree with Stephanie, and I have a wall for my photography, because my photography goes under attack with a lot of people that are in my friend groups that don't agree with the way I do photography. So I keep it separate, where people can end up becoming interested in my photography, but it doesn't pull from the friend Facebook, and I manage a Facebook page that way, and I'm not posting weekly, and that seems to get some attention. But I was going to say, an idea had came through, and I do agree with honoring yourself and not taking on what others are judging you for. But children wear beaded bracelets, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and bracelets, doesn't matter what spirituality you are, they're also enjoyed by all. I think that there might be an avenue to make for the children as well, like marketing these for the children as well. For other children, I'm not saying obviously your own children won't be buying them from you, but maybe within in your village, I don't know what you're up against, but it could be a way to bridge this community that doesn't need bracelets for themselves, but maybe there's a market for the children. So it's just an idea that came through, that there's something with the children and the bracelets, I think, is a very strong connector for you as well. So I really like that you're customizing it too. And I think people like Lisa and Stephanie with the business advice, it's like, I'm lost on a profitable respect, but I do think that it's really cool that you're customizing it. And that's something that I know as a person who would want to buy one, I would prefer that customization. That's very special. So I think hold on to that rather than
yeah, it's the most rewarding. I mean, I've had people go, I was like, okay, so what are you wanting? Well, you know what? I'm gonna leave that up to you. It's like, you're gonna leave that up to me. Okay. How about colors you like and don't like? I don't like brown. And I need protection. Tiger's eye is one of my main protectors. Okay. Alrighty, we'll go a different route. And I had this one gal at this place. I was up at Mount Vernon and she told me this, and I'm like, okay, here's your bracelet. And I was really nervous because I had so little, like, I didn't have anything on her. And I gave her the bracelet. She's like, oh my gosh, it's perfect. I'm like, oh, awesome. And she was like, this is exactly what I needed. And I'm like, oh, phew. And it was just magical. And I'm like, that's what I like. That's what I enjoy. And I do have bracelets that I put out that, are pre-made ones and stuff. And all of them have handwritten cards. My husband's like, you need to just print them out. I'm like, no, that's not part of it. I handwrite everything. That's part of the love that goes into it. Is people
I hear you
get that. And it's personal. It's not just, here's a card, have a nice day. Yeah. There's a touch to it. There's more. And that's what I like. And the hard thing with the business side of it is that, when you go to the shows and there's 6 different vendors that have bracelets, and they have this bracelet and they're selling it for $20 and you're selling it for $30, and it's like, I could just go buy that one for $20, but they're not putting the custom into it. They're just, here's a bracelet and I slapped together, or I bought 50 of them on Amazon and I'm just selling them to you for $20, so it's sometimes makes it harder. So
sounds like you're selling also the experience, which is a valuable portion with your bracelet. And I think that that's something to really hold on tight to, that yours is worth whatever it is, because it's an experience along with the bracelet. And I think that you have a very personal touch, and I really like hearing that. And I think I'd really carry that forward and not let other pricings of whoever's with their ways of making money cloud you, because you have an experience you're offering. And it's who knows what that bracelet energy is doing for those people that you have put that thought into. So I think that you probably just have to find a route to get to the people or the space that matches with what you're gifting. So I really appreciate that you handwrite the notes. So thank you.
Thank you.
Lisa's got something else too.
Yeah, just to piggyback off of what Laffy Snake was saying, which is near and dear to my heart, and that's called brand messaging. And when you understand what makes your product different, then you start to differentiate yourself in the marketplace. And so maybe it's a matter of designing. When I went back earlier, when I started earlier about your pricing, right? Making sure you understand your unit cost versus wholesale and retail, then add maybe a couple of product lines that already have some established bead combinations in there. And then maybe identify each of those bracelets as being some kind of healing, I don't want to misuse the word modality, but healing essence to them, right? So this one is going to bring you joy. This one's going to bring you comfort. This one's going to bring you relief, whatever those emotional benefits that they're going to derive from wearing each one of those bracelets. So that way, if you can say, how are you feeling today? Well, I'm feeling overwhelmed. Okay, well, here's a perfect bracelet for you. So you already have a line of those designed out for them. And that's at a higher cost. And then you create your customized bracelets at even a higher cost. because then you're going to start to create these multiple product lines that people can choose, and people can buy from you based on their needs, based on the money, and then based on the benefit of each of those products. And so I would encourage you at looking for programs. I have one about how to create brand messaging for your business, learning how to differentiate yourself in the marketplace so that you can start making more money and start getting recognition.
So
Okay.
Lisa, based on what you're saying and about messaging, if I know just as a practitioner, right, you're presencing your own thoughts before you share. If you're aware of how Ashley was responding to Laughing Snake and the direction that they went, I'm wondering if there's something else for you that you might share about messaging. You may not have listened in all the ways that I was listening. So,
well, I know that Laughing Snake was talking about experience, and that goes into the customizing. When I would bring in customers into my brick and mortar, they would go into the back with me. They got to feel special about choosing the leathers and things like that to create their own handbags. And so from an experiential standpoint, you can really capitalize on that. And then you can speak to that through your brand messaging. That's the copy that you write about how people are going to experience and feel before, during, and after they buy your product. And then that's the testimonial that you're going to want to use on your website and other areas in your marketing materials to help make that brand messaging consistent throughout everyone's shopping experience with you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. And I'm particularly going in the direction of like the value of what you put in and how you can convey that to people. So that when people are at your booth and they know that your price is your price, but like all the things that they're buying in addition to the beads.
Right. And that comes through the brand messaging. So it's the features and benefits, and then the expressive benefits of that help idealize what the value is of that product and the buying experience of that.
Okay.
All right, great. Well, let's see. So practitioners, any other quick things, and then River Witch Fairy, if you want to, anything else you want to share and closing. Yeah.
Nobody else? Okay. Everything that the practitioners said, I'm not sure I could have said that any better myself. That was all very informative and detailed to exactly what I was getting, which was also a couple of different things. First of all, the number one thing that came through to me was she's not charging enough for her work. She's not charging enough for her work. That's why she's not making as much money as she should be and what she deserves, especially, yes, for you're not just giving the artistry and the craftsmanship, but you're giving healing energy and experience. Okay. And then I also got very quickly that there was not enough consistency in some of the ways that you're advertising. And I knew right away that there's a different outlet for you that you should be being more consistent with other than just in person. And when I listened to you talk a little bit more, I got more information about that because I knew that outlet is online. You should be sharing what you're doing. You should be sharing it. It's your gift. It's your craft and it's your gift. You so deserve to feel confident about sharing that with the world. And there was something you said earlier that gave me a big clue that you, I think sometimes subconsciously, you don't feel confident enough in that gift. It was something you said. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was along the lines of feeling like you shouldn't be posting it, like you feel silly or maybe feel a little bit bad if you were to start sharing it more consistently and come across like you're trying to sell. And so that gave me some insight that maybe sometimes there's a subconscious thing that maybe it's not good enough. Okay. And that is such a false belief, because just this description that you're giving on how you do it, and I got a picture and I got the sound right away, and it's absolutely beautiful, and it is unique, and it should be shared with the world. Doesn't mean you have to post your children or anything else personal any less. You can blend it all together, because I feel like this gift is really a part of your soul. So yeah, so that's tying all the practitioners things in together. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Yeah. Like, and so you've, one of the places when you've sold your work is at my fairs, right? I think I'm remembering.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my first one was at Bellevue,
And
and
then
then I will be there Saturday too.
in Linwood
Yes.
this weekend. Yeah. Yeah. And are you the one that you then did some additional write-ups of your work and brought it to the next event? I'm trying to remember. There's
I don't think so.
no, it's okay. There's someone else that I just trying to think. So how do you so there are so many ways of conveying energy healing, conveying healing energy, maybe is the best way. And even if you don't do it the way some people think that you might, or what some modalities describe, do you have the experience that there's like various kinds of healing or holing for people, like holing energy that comes through your products?
Yeah.
And how are the ways that you convey that to people?
I can do that like with the mess-free bath salts. I absolutely hate cleaning my bathtub. So, and a lot of people do, you know, some people love the mess. I don't. I actually decided to use one of the milk baths, which is all messy herbs. And I'm like, I literally had to sit there and close my eyes and pretend it wasn't there as I'm listening to meditation music, but it was so soothing and like perfect, but it drove me nuts. And then when I do the mess-free ones, it's so much easier. And I can, you know, because I use my own products, I can tell people about it. And I could tell them, you know, this doesn't work for me. Maybe you like herbs, maybe you don't.
And do you have
You
any,
know,
did you have any signs on your table or anything on the like the packaging or the tags on the objects? Is there anything that conveys to people all of what goes into the choosing and the making of your products?
So there's not anything like there. I have some things that say like affirmation bath salts, because all the herbs that I put in, they're like, I am love. I am, oh, what else do I have? I am love. I'm beautiful. I am relieved. And they're all basically affirmations. I can't think off the top of my head. It's too late right now. But and I'll tell people that all the herbs that are in there are for that purpose. And that's what they're intended to be for, is to give that that feeling. You know, so if you're needing to be grounded or you need to be calmed, here you go. If you want to manifest something, here you go.
So I know I'd love if when people walk by your table or look at your page or look at your anything, like they can feel that and see that really quickly and clearly and easily. And just like you talking about it here tonight, you know, and you can do it with someone else if that helps you. Talk about your products and what it means to you, what you do, and the impact that you have, not in a way to be salesy, but in a way that people get to feel you and feel who you are and what your work is.
My children are being loud in the garage. Yeah, no, and as you're saying that, I was also thinking I need to do videos too, which is something that I don't like doing, but
and that's why doing it with other people, you don't have to do it alone.
Yeah,
and Facebook live videos, I saw that was part of the online thing that I got that you haven't been doing too much.
I've never done a live Facebook videos.
Not yet. Yeah.
There's a goal.
So
Looks like Laughing Snake has one more thing as in closing up. Go ahead, Laughing Snake. Yeah.
Ashley, I'm having a very creative vision coming through, and it has to do with storytelling. And I'm wondering, because I hear you telling me that the part you love the most is hearing people's stories, and then you customize, give them sort of a souvenir of themselves back. I'm wondering if and I'm not solid at the marketing and the business side. So I think Lisa's got that dialed in for you. But I'm wondering if maybe the next venue for you isn't this like table space at an event. Maybe it's marketing yourself in that like you're a listener to people, and people need people to be listened to right now. So maybe you listen to the story, and the bees just represent the like what you've heard. And I just wanted to share really quick, I lead elemental camps for children, and last summer I gifted them one bead per day for the always remembered the day, and the bead correlated with like something we talked about so you would never forget. And we touched the bead as we did a meditation at the end of the week, and they got 5 beads, and they just went on a keychain. And the kids loved holding each bead, remembering, oh, this represented the roots of the tree, this represented the tree trunk, this. And it was like a storytelling process of kind of going down. And I'm thinking of other spiritualities that, you know, you have like, I think is in Catholic, where you have the beads that you go down the rosary. Maybe there's a storytelling component with your beads, and you hear people, and that might be part of a new venue for you, rather than just like, here's my table of crafts and I can do this for you. Like you might be a gift of a listener, and I don't know how to put it in words right now, but something's coming through really big around storytelling in your beads. So I hope that helps you in a way. Language is failing me at this point.
No, I can definitely see what you're saying. Yeah. And that would actually help a ton with the clutter on my table that drives me insane. There's too much stuff. But
Is there a Band-Aid?
lovely. No,
Great, great.
thank you.
Thank you so much, Ashley. Thank you for jumping in and letting us share with you and supporting us as the practitioners are getting experience doing this. It's great. All right. Well, we are slightly past our time. So grateful that we got to answer all that we did. So practitioners, it's closing out. Let's go around again and share your name, your modalities, or just how you practice in the world, and your contact info if people want to reach out to you from watching the video. All of the practitioners' contact info is in the chat along with their specials. And there's also a link to a feedback form if you're willing to share feedback with us from your experience today. Give us your email address. We'll put you in a drawing for a free 30-minute session with one of the practitioners on the panel of your choice. All right, maybe let's go the same. So Lisa, and then Laughing Snake, and then Stephanie.
Thank you, Lorelei. I'm Lisa Stewart of Sigil Magic Goddess, creative mixed medium. And as an intuitive business coach, I help mystics like you find the courage to co-create with your intuition to grow your confidence and your income. And I can also teach you how to work with the moon phases and tarot to effectively grow your business. And part of being a business coach is also helping brand messaging, design, marketing, and websites. And currently I have 2 specials in the chat. One is discount for the Moon Phase Manifesting Digital Journal that includes all kinds of business elements in it, from branding, customer contact lists, finance, everything is in there, as well as a discount to the business workshop, How to Start Your Business When You Don't Know Where to Start. So sometimes it's a really good refresher course. So you can find me at sigilmagicgoddess.com. Again, I'm Lisa Stewart, the intuitive business coach. Thank you.
Thanks, Lisa. Laughing Snake.
I am Laughing Snake, and I'm out here in North Bend on an acre, and I have a strong relationship with nature and animals, and also am able to help people guide through their internal landscapes and how that applies also to the environments at which they are facing, whether that be in the wilderness or in city, in your daily life. And I like to use nature and the tools of the elements to help build a language to express sort of emotional processing and disassembling your fears, taking apart and detecting patterns in your life, and untangling the associations that we have through trauma, and also holding space for grief and sadness and things that we aren't so familiar with in our society, sharing in public and kind of welcoming those forward. I also do work with children and also adults. I also am skilled at being a personal trainer. So I also read body movement as part of that work in the wilderness. So we work on skills and empowerment. And let's see, I think I'm getting a bit tired tonight, and I'm also just leaving very grateful for meeting all of you today and being a part of this. And this is a new experience for me online. So I do best in person. So if anyone wishes to find me, I think the email is there. And I would love to meet you in person. Thank you.
Any contact info that you want to say, because people watching the video.
Yes. And so I put the Lara Randalls photo at Gmail. Okay. Yes, I have a few careers, so that would be an email to reach out to me at this time.
If you could spell it for people, that'd be great.
Yes. LARARANDALLS PHO. Can't even talk to it. Photo, right? PHOTO@gmail.com. Thank you.
That's great.
It's been a long day.
So people can reach. I know it's late. Thank you. All right, Stephanie.
School.
Okay, I'm Stephanie Bucklin. My business is officially Stephanie Bucklin Consulting LLC. I'm a self-healing guide. I'm an intuitive. I'm a medium, a psychic. So many beautiful skills, and definitely connected to business and helping people with their healing business. One of the things that I am hosting and that I kind of alluded to before was this beautiful event that I am hosting, and actually Laureli is participating, and we're creating it's called the Integrative Wellness Expo and Conference, and we're also doing this online. So it's an in-person event in Phoenix, Arizona, and we're hosting all kinds of beautiful things, healers, vendors, a conference, workshops, wonderful connections to all these amazing healers here in Phoenix, but also creating a virtual event, which is incorporating MeWe fairs and all of these beautiful panels that Laureli's created, as well as a beautiful music event. Wonderful opportunity for all of you to come and check out. There's a link in the chat. My website is stephaniebucklin.com. Stephanie is the traditional spelling of Stephanie, STEPHANIE. Bucklin is BUCKLIN.com. My email is info@stephaniebucklin.com, and you can find the information about the expo on my website. If you just go there and click the menu that says Integrative Wellness Expo 2022. And I would love to see you all there. There are online passes as well as in-person passes. So if you want to come check out Phoenix at the end of March, it is gorgeous weather right now. If you want to join us online, that event is happening after our in-person event starting on March 27th.
Yeah, March 25, right at the beginning. Thank you so much, Stephanie. All right, and the River Witch Faery, it is very, very late for the River Witch Faery. Thank you so much for being here with us the whole time on the East Coast.
Absolutely. It is very late. I'm getting very sleepy. You can probably tell by my eyes. So forgive me if I jumble my words, but I am Rina-fay London, the River Witch Faery. You can always find me on facebook.com/the River Witch Faery, instagram.com/the River Witch Faery, and same thing for YouTube. And fairy is spelled Faery. So I am a fairy incarnate woman and shaman, mostly my whole life, but really doing this work over the last 18 years, guiding women, men, children, and couples in the endeavors to staying connected to their heart space, connecting to nature spirits and the magic that is all around us, and supporting them on their intuitive and creative journeys in love and art and joy and deep, deep healing work, whether that is from the simplest thing of healing from heartbreak and finding your joy, all the way to deep ancestral karma and trauma. I work with it all, and it is my specialty and my purpose and pleasure. I do not currently have any specials right now, because here's the fun fact. I am not currently open to the public for sessions, to sessions with clients. But this is a private event, and any private events, I am always open to sessions in whatever way you need. So if anyone from this event contacts me looking for anything, I am open to service for you. Right now, I'm just not open to the big wide public, to everyone for sessions. Let me see. I'm so tired. Is there anything else I'm missing? Contact?
You gave us your contact info. Yeah.
I'm
great.
in New England, so it's very late here. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thanks so much for holding space and supporting our practitioners. Get experience on the stage. And I'm Laureli Shimayo. I'm an intuitive eye reader, body psychology coach. I read your eyes, read your soul, and answer questions about your soul purpose, your career path, relationships that you're in. I help you find relationships to be in, maybe help you find a soulmate through their eyes. And so happy to do work with you. My rates are 40% off if you've been here, you're listening to the video. And you can find out more about me at laurelishimayo.com, which is spelled LAURELISHIMAYO. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here tonight. This is one of our online events. We have online and in-person events in the Northwest. Coming up just next weekend, in 2 days, we have Metaphysics and Wellness Fair in Linwood in the Seattle area. And then March 19-20, we have a fair in Bellevue in the Seattle area. And then April, we're going to be in Oregon. We have April 9 and 10 in Portland and April 23, 24 in Eugene. And we have lots more events online, including tomorrow night, we have a learning circle where you can do work with me and 2 other practitioners. We're doing things with color and all kinds of clairs and oh goodness, I can't think because I'm too tired either, but all kinds of exercises with energy and sound and yeah, all kinds of different things tomorrow night from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific time. So you can learn about all of what we're up to at mewefairs.com, MEWEFAIRS.com. Thank you so much. All right. Record.